So how do DOP Analytics indicators perform on days like Fed Day? Fed Day is the day where the FOMC releases their statement. They change the interest rate or they leave it the same, which is what they did today. And with the anticipation, there's a lot of buildup and we have big movement and there's a lot of things that can throw things off. But I want to, rather than just telling you that they performed awesome, I thought I would show you. So we're going to just really quickly, one by one. This is not a video to teach you how to use these things. I just want to show you how well they perform on days like today. And it kind of gives you some insight. When the markets go ballistic, which they will, this will give you some perspective on how well these tools work. So let's start with the box. So we're coming out of this sideways consolidation. Market's been kind of flat. I'm going to show you the ES. Obviously not all markets are like that. The NQ had beautiful movement yesterday. The ES had a 5-point range from high tick to low tick. Awful. But we're coming out of this sideways consolidation. This was, I'm in Mountain Time Zone, about a half hour after market open, a nice little short here, little bit of profit, not a ton, a couple points or so, and then to the reverse side, up a couple points or so, and then down for another 8 points or so, and then this drop here was during the announcement. And then it's always nice when we get one that forms towards the bottom of a run, and the signal kind of came a little bit late, but still about 15 minutes for you to get into this trade. That's a long time. So even if you entered in at a bad entry, like where this signal came, there's still, all in all the trades today, over 22 points to be had. Conservatively, if you're just getting in and you're conservative and you're just, taking profit at the first couple levels, you're probably between 8 to 14 points today. Remember, on the ES, you are $50 per point of movement. So you're going to be about 400 to well over 1,000 per contract on a day like today. Very good day, performed very well, no losers. Every single trade that you're looking at here where the arrows are trades. We get in when the arrow appears. We take profit wherever you feel comfortable. First, second, third, these dotted lines are profit levels. And so you got about 22 or more points available. Obviously, we're not going to get every tick, so you should be able to carve out a good half that, if not more. On days like today where we anticipate larger movement, the smartest thing to do is open up profit. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is called Backfill. There's one little trade right here at the 99.25 price. So what happens is when the market is running hard up or down, it's going to leave orders that have to get filled. Okay, and so they're blue when it signifies that the market's going to have to come back up in order to fill this, and if it does the opposite, it's going to be red. So we obviously didn't rise up, we dropped. So we're going to have some blue levels. We only had one price that needed to be filled, and it nailed it. The reason why there's none here is because the market's sideways. It's not running hard up or down. So just one today, but it was a beautiful trade. And then let's go to the next indicator. Okay, this one is called Dynamic Pivot. This for today, the pivot formed at last night, actually, during the overnight session. So I will say this, this is not to instruct you on dynamic pivot. Dynamic pivot is for traders that know how to trade and know how to make money. If you are new and you're trying to figure the market out, I would not use this indicator. I would use something like the box, where it's very simple, very easy. The first one I showed you, a lot of money that can be made with that if you use it right. This is for traders that, most of my clients that use this are professional traders, but it's not limited to pros. If you're not a pro, you can definitely use this. And again, this is not an instructional video on how to use the dynamic pivot. The reason why I wanted to show it to you is for those of you that have experience with pivots, I wanted to show you how accurate this is. Formed last night. And so the reason why we didn't have one formed down here is because what it indicates is that price is still working off of this pivot price. As you can see, it did. And that's exactly what happened. So it didn't matter that the market dropped like it did and then rose like it did. It pivoted around this level. And as you can see, it acted as perfect support during the pre-announcement time frame. So that's all I'm going to say about that. The next indicator, this is our one price indicator. So what happens is it looks at overnight market movement, does a calculation, it populates a single price level, and what it says is, it says, hey, price in the market, in this case the ES, we could look at anything. We could look at crude oil or copper or gold, or it doesn't matter what it is. But just to give you an idea, this is the ES, and so what it says is that price is going to want to gravitate back towards this level, and sure enough it did. So the market opens my time at 7:30, so about right here, and we did not peak up there, or that's where we peaked, and we were like a magnet drawn right back to this level. Easy fill, easy trade. So then you might say, well, wait a minute, how do I know to go short up here? Well, if we add another indicator called prediction points, which they're technically not available yet. They're obviously, I can put them on charts so they're, they're working and functioning. What I'm doing is I'm adding dozens of more instruments to the prediction point algorithm. It's a beast of a project because it's calculated in a software program called MATLAB and then is converted to other platforms. It's a daunting task, but as you can see, it's worth it because it's so dang accurate. So this red line and this one where it went to the tick, price in the ES was hovering between these two price levels. It broke it, went down to the next one to the tick, and then it acted as resistance and it blew through this one. And you can see yesterday we had this one left over that didn't get filled at 94.5 and it nailed it. These don't extend, they stop at the end of each day, but a lot of times you can look back if there's a nice little gap there. We can look at, is there a price level from the previous day that didn't get filled or hit yet? And sure enough, it did. It nailed it, broke it by actually 2 ticks. We did have one below that. Looks like about 1.25 points. Didn't quite have enough steam. It was completely done by that point, and then it just headed up. But so there's, that gray line, that's one price, and then these are prediction points for today. Those of you that love patterns, you can see this head and shoulders here. Here and here are the neckline. Here's a shoulder to the tick of the prediction point, and it nails it. So anyways, in summary, all in all, between the box, backfill, the dynamic pivot, prediction points, and one price, 100% winning trades today. Absolutely no losers. And this is something that you can I would actually go so far as to say is somewhat typical for days like today, a Fed day, where we have larger movement. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are going to come upon a time in the very near future where the markets are going to be like this on a norm. Okay? The markets are about to get extremely volatile. And what that means for traders is that it provides or presents a tremendous amount of opportunity. If I were to grab charts from almost 10 years ago, back in 2008 when the real estate market crashed, they are just beautiful because what you're able to do is you're able to get pinpoint entries, and the profits really are up to you, because then at that point it just becomes a matter of how much do you want to take. And it has nothing to do with greed, it has everything to do with opportunity. But if you're not using tools that work well, then you're going to run into a lot of problems. And so I wanted to show you this and do this quick video to show you how well these indicators perform during volatile times in the market. All of these indicators, first month is half off. Just visit the website. Pricing is extremely nominal. And as you can see, even on a day like today, where there seems to be a lot of uncertainty, this is a great way to not just be confident about the trading that you're doing, but to have tools that are reliable and actually do what they claim.